I normally listen to you guys when I'm running, and I get really far behind, and I'll binge like 8 episodes at one time. And in order to listen to everything and be able to tell my sister, yes, I've listened to your podcast, it's my favorite one.
Which I require, obviously, of all the people that I love.
I listen to you guys on like 1.5 times.
Sure.
I don't know if you've ever listened to yourself. It's hilarious.
Do we sound like
Claire.
little chipmunk?
That's like Alvin.
Alvin.
Yeah.
That's
It's really
funny.
cute.
Yeah, my brother listens to books and all the podcasts at 1.5. And I'm like, how are you doing this?
I
But
do
he listens to
1.25,
everything.
and it doesn't affect it that much.
Oh,
I'm like,
1.3, girly.
okay, yeah.
So, I mean, earlier you said you recognize our voices, but it would sound totally different, seemingly.
Well, I sometimes slow it down.
Okay.
Like if it's a really good story, I'm like, oh wait, let me go back and listen to that.
Oh,
And when
damn.
it's shit, she's like,
Fast forward this bad
I
boy.
got 2 more miles. Got to get through it.
Okay, so the reason you're here is because you binged, and then what happened?
And I was like, these people talk crap about all the people in their lives. They really need to have those other people on the show.
These people.
These people.
These people.
So before you correct Laura, which is one of something she could get better at, I'm just kidding. Tell us who you are and why you're here.
Oh, I'm Dee. I'm Laura's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And where did you come from?
I live in Cleveland, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Which is a dating desert for any of you single people out there listening. Don't move there. She got the last one out of Nom.
This is probably true. We experienced this.
Where's
Hardcore.
Cleveland? I've heard of Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm trying to think where that is.
It's like 25 miles north of Chattanooga.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So I should just say I live in Chattanooga.
So you drove all the way here to defend yourself. Is what we're getting to.
Basically.
Sure.
I feel like all I do is talk good about her.
I
think-
actually do too, right? Of course, I don't know.
She does. She talks so great about me.
But it's almost like
true.
she's mad. Yeah. She's mad And about it's how great too you are. positive.
It is. That's the problem.
Yeah, she's like, I'm here to talk about what a bad bitch I am. Kind of Disney princess, like she says.
How dare she
But
call me a Disney
we
princess.
can't jump in. We haven't done my favorite part, which is the warm up, which we're going to do siblings. What's the worst thing you've ever done to your sibling or they've ever done to you? And I know Will Lockamy will win this. Oh, gosh.
I don't know. I've done some fucked
I
up
don't-
shit to some siblings. Not you, though.
I don't think I have an answer for this, actually.
Oh,
You never did anything naughty?
No. Don't say naughty.
We-
That feels weird.
No,
Like,
Reed and I, wild. like,
oh,
kind of
okay.
surprisingly Never
Mm.
friends. And
Mm-hmm.
pranked each other or no?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think.
I have things that border, like, they like live on, like, possibly child abuse. Like, the things that come up for
Never
me.
told him he was adopted? Or
Mm.
No, he's older. So
Right.
he would have told me.
Mm.
Oh,
Did he
probably
ever
that
do
I
anything
was-
to you?
Oh, gosh.
Me and Tony fought so
Oh.
bad. Oh, you have one? Okay.
Yeah, I can't say it though. I feel there's a child in the room. I mean, like somebody who's not. Okay.
She's a teenager. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I know
earmuffs,
that's the
Chloe.
problem. That's the problem. When I said child, that's on
Do you want me to have her step out?
Nope, it's okay because everyone will hear this at some point anyway. And I've told this publicly.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
let loose, buddy.
Whatever. When I was a teen, I was experimenting with, what teen boys do, and God.
I'm sorry, like drugs or masturbation?
No,
like I don't.
Yeah, masturbation.
Okay.
And somewhere along the way, I'd heard that, which is so dumb, that like Vaseline, whatever. And so, I guess I forgot to put it up, and that's that, right? That's the end of that. Reed then later goes in, and he's taking a shower and whatever, and then at dinner, he full on at the dinner table was like, "Oh, hey, who was using the Vaseline in the bathroom?" And of course, my mom and dad know that it wasn't them.
Oh no!
And I was just like, "Dude, stop!" And he's like, "What was it? Were you? Well, you had what were you doing with the Vaseline?" And I like
he's just hazing you
on the
hardcore.
fly made up a story about like, oh, what if you put it on your eyebrows right here? Like, yeah, I just started making something up. It's the worst. Oh yeah, I've forgotten about that.
That is a good one.
But I feel like that's the only thing on my list.
That's like him hazing you, though. That was so shit.
I said either way.
Yeah, he
Oh,
said
either way.
Yeah, that's what happened. Mm-hmm.
I can't top that, but I will say Tony and I, and you probably have more horror stories about what me and Tony did to each other than anything else. My younger brother, who was the oldest of our younger brothers, was just honestly insufferable. Like, he's just always been this like really angry guy. If you're listening,
He's about to get in the car and
we love you,
calm
Tony.
down.
He will come murder. He's like you kind of like it. He's like the angry elf that you're like, come to Christmas. We need you here to mix things up. But we like chased each other with knives. Like, we were like
Knobs. Did y'all hear how that came out?
knives. Never correct me. No, we like wanted to murder each other. We used to beat the hell out of each other. We're a year apart, and then all of a sudden when we get to high school, we're like allies. We're like, okay, time to be on each other's team.
How many kids are there?
So many.
5.
5.
Well, and plus the 2, my other siblings that
You just
are
don't
from
like
my-
them? When you
No,
talk
but
to
like
them?
I didn't live with them. So
Okay.
like my mom went on to have a daughter and a son,
Okay.
and and I love them. I just didn't get to live with them ever.
And how far apart are you guys?
A year.
1 year.
We were best friends growing up.
Yeah, like inseparable. I would cry every time she leave. I'd be
Yeah.
like,
Well, that was what I was going to say. Like, to read, I just was tagging along too much. That's not whatever. But also, I mean, we just have the same friend group. We still, all of our friends are the same friend group. And it was just always that way.
because you made it that way by tagging on.
I mean, I guess, but he would invite me. He would, like, take me places. So
I
I don't know.
loved you.
You're replacing me as Goldilocks.
Aw,
beautiful.
just right. All right, go on.
Well, I thought I caused my brother's drug addiction because I was so cruel to him growing up, and I made amends to him once he was in recovery, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry I caused you to become an addict. And he was like, what are you talking about? So like that felt pretty good that he didn't feel like I did. I was like, okay, just wanted to clear that up. But I was awful. But I'll say something he did to me a little bit later. Are you sure she can kind of hear whatever? Yeah. Okay. So in college, I was like, he was so wild, and I was like, wanna be wild, and he convinced me to try acid, and I was very scared, and I'm like, well, like, how do you know it's gonna work? He's like, well, you're probably gonna know, and so the night goes on, I knew it worked, and in the middle of the night, like, God knows what time it was, this is obviously before he was in recovery, and he's like, y'all have got to listen to this new song. And so everyone gathers around and they're like all in on it. And I'm on Mars. And he like pretends to press play on this probably like a boom box. And they all start dancing, but no music's coming out. So I'm like, I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. And they're like, how do you not hear this? And I'm like, check my hearing. And I start losing it. And if you have taken a psychedelic, that is not a fun experience. I think you've lost one of your senses.
Oh, no.
And I was so upset. I was like, listen, I feel like we should go home and tell Mom what we've done. And he's like, think you're going to go
Why
to bed.
is that? That was your go-to. You always wanted to tell the parents.
Always. I still do. I'm like, I should probably call my mom.
All right, Dee, your turn.
Well, I mean, I don't know that I did anything.
Hey, remember,
Bad
we're going to be
to you
strong here,
guys.
Dee.
Well, but I did have a sibling that I lived with. I think that's the difference. Like when you don't live with them, you just miss them so much that you're happy to be around them. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
Maybe. But go on. What'd you do to Fran? What
Well,
did Fran do to you?
I mean, she was 2 years younger than me, and she was constantly like annoyed with me for some reason or another.
because you're
and-
pretty perfect. So
She would try to like hit me, and I would just pin her down on the ground and not let her move until she stopped being.
She's always been a real strong bitch too. You know what I mean?
We knew it was in there. All right, well, Dee, vindicate yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, you just have to say terrible things about yourself, right? That's the only way to contradict.
I know. I come up with all the bad things in the world.
It's the only way to contradict what Laura has said.
That's true,
Because
because-
she just complains about like you're more athletic and you run and you do all these
So
things.
nice.
Yeah, you're just too nice.
Disney's
and-
princess. One time, this is a real story. Chloe, oh my God, this is actually one of the greatest stories about Chloe of all time. We took a trip to the beach. It was right after she got divorced, so it was like a dark time. And or maybe you were kind of in the thick of it. I don't remember. So Chloe was in like a terrible twos situation, and she did a lot of like, just like, she would scream in your face. She would just go off. So we take this beach trip, and Chloe legitimately was in the back seat, and she was losing her mind. And I was recording her because I just thought so funny. She was really so cute when she was little, especially when she was crying and screaming. And I would be like, look at her. And then she was like, stop filming me. And she was like, my sister, who is so calm, she would always be like, Chloe, are you making a good choice? This is like, she's in the front seat. She starts asking if she's making a good choice. She's like, Chloe, if you make good choices, mommy will get you, if you'll earn, blah, blah, blah. And I'll never forget, because me and some friends literally will call each other still to this day and be like, I don't want to earn, because Chloe just starts screaming and she's like, I don't want to earn. I don't want to earn. And I was like, yes, Chloe, go off. And I was recording her the whole time. And I just remember
That made it so much better, didn't
listen,
it, Chloe?
her parenting skill, even her parenting is annoyingly chill. Like she would be like, are you making a good choice? Does this, and meanwhile, I'm like, Cleo, beat your ass. Get your ass in the car right now. And Dee would just be like, when Chloe's ready to make a good choice, we'll leave. And I'm like, Chloe's just losing it. I don't want to earn. Anyways, that's a great moment of just, and same trip from the bedroom at like 7 a.m. Do y'all know the Cinderella moment where it's like, sing sweet nightingale? I'm not kidding. From my bedroom on this same trip, I hear this angelic voice coming from the kitchen making like homemade pancakes. And it's her. This is what I'm fucking talking about. I've had to live with this.
Dee, you better step.
I know. It's horrible.
It's so hard. She really is so great. It's so aspirational.
So maybe the complaint is she woke up with singing.
Oh, you're so beautiful. It's like crying. It was like Will Ferrell and Step Brothers. It was like, God, you're so good. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever heard.
So Bob said something about you, Will,
Okay.
that I'm going to say about Laura. I'm copying Bob.
All right.
She embellishes.
I've never been told that. People constantly talk about how authentic my storytelling
And
is.
concise.
Did Bob say that about me?
Yes,
did,
he
yeah.
definitely
You were
did.
so nervous you probably blacked out.
Really? I really don't remember that.
No, I mean, I guess the Disney princess thing like always just hits me a bit wrong.
Yeah,
Because
let her have it.
It feels like, I don't know, it feels like I need someone to save me. Yeah. And I actually like saving myself.
You've definitely never needed anybody to save you. I want to be clear. Maybe Disney princess.
You just have to hear her
Yeah.
first. Laura.
Oh my God.
That's right.
We listen and you didn't. Yeah. Go on. Okay.
Just repeat back
What I'm
you
hearing
heard
you
her
say right now is that you don't need to be saved because you a bad bitch.
Yeah.
Okay. Go on. What
But
else?
so are you. Like we have this in common, right?
That is true.
You present differently, but you do the same thing.
Wow. And that's beautiful. Okay, go on. What else? What are some stories that came up that you were just like,
Oh gosh. I wanted to swim with the turtles too. And I'm very, very sad that
Wait,
didn't
remind me
happen.
about the turtle swimming.
I'm sorry, first off, we go to St. Thomas. This is like, the pandemic is still kind of a thing.
It's right when they opened up St. Thomas. Like I think they'd only been open for like a week or so.
Yes. And so we fly into St. Thomas. It's sketch as hell. We got to fill out all this paperwork and like everything's still happening. And it was kind of a joint birthday trip, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we do this hybrid and we try to take at least one really great sister trip a year. And we get there. It's awesome. And we're going to St. John's Island for one day, which is beautiful. And there's this one thing that I read about St. John's Island. I'm like, gotta do this. There's like a taco margarita like hut on the side of the mountain, and there's a place where you go and lay on the beach, and you literally get to like just chill with these giant sea turtles. It's so cool.
Can you touch them?
Yes, you can touch them.
That never happened.
And here,
It
they
didn't
don't give a
happen for us
Okay.
either.
Okay.
And it was not my fault.
Okay, first of all right. So her love language is activity, doing something active. And I'm trying to live forever too, right? I'll be active with you. But I'm not necessarily athletic, necessarily in the same realm as her. Okay. I'm definitely not. So for instance, like if you wanted to say like, do I have All Trails as an app? The answer is no. I didn't even know what All Trails was.
Great app.
She has it. She's one of the top users on All Trails apparently. And she's like, listen, I found this little trail. It's super chill. It's like a 1 star or whatever they rate them as.
1 star.
It's like a 1, like on the how
Easy.
hard
It
it
was
is.
an easy hike.
This is what she
It's a
said.
pine cone system. It gets 1 pine cone.
Right. 1 pine cone. And then she's like, it's going to be no problem. And like, I'm looking at it here and we just go here, here, and here. And then we'll end up right back here. Okay. And what part have I lied about so far? Go on. So what happened, Dee?
Well, so the part that you haven't said yet is that we got to the place with the tacos and the margarita bar and the turtles,
Yes.
like at 10:30 in the morning. These people don't open till noon. There was literally nothing for us to do.
Those fucking turtles were in the water waiting for us. But go on.
There was nothing for us to do.
Swimming, laying.
So I was like, while we're waiting, let's not just be lazy. Let's go do some activity. Let's go for this hike. And I had already looked it up because I was like, okay, I don't want us to get in over our heads.
And by that, she
quite
meant
know
she
what
doesn't
that
want me
means.
to get in over my head. Okay.
But it is literally 5 miles to the other end of the island.
I don't remember that number. If I'm just
And
being
5
honest.
miles back. Like, you could run that
Dee, that's a
in 3 to 4
hefty
hours.
5. First of all, I
10
never,
miles?
I never.
I will crush you now.
But now, if I wasn't planning on doing the whole thing, I was just like, well, and it's an out and back. So like anytime you decide we want to turn around, we can turn around.
Okay. So she also, about halfway through, when I was sweating profusely and like falling apart as a human, and I was like, all I want is tacos. We could be with those turtles. We could, like, I can't even imagine the Instagram photos I could be getting right now. And she's like, I bet there's tacos where we're going. She
I was
kept
like, I don't know what to do with her right now.
And so she keeps convincing me that when we get there, there's definitely going to be like a hut with tacos there too.
No, I knew there would be water. That was my concern. Like we kept going, and I did offer like twice. Like we got to that road that you crossed over where all the cars were parked, and I was like, maybe we should turn back. And you were like, no, I want to see where it goes. And I was like, okay.
I'm going to be honest. It's kind of a blur for me. I don't ever remember.
Did y'all do the 10 miles?
No. No.
Go ahead.
Absolutely
What
not.
did happen? We did 5.
We're about 3 miles in, and it is at this point is where it falls apart. Like I'm actually thinking, okay, maybe we can do this. We get about 3 miles in, and I'm like, oh God, she's not going to make it. And I can't carry her out of here. I don't know what to do.
First of all, it's making me, I have started working out since then. And shut the hell up, bitch. And I believe I could make it now with no problem.
I think you could. I think you can make it there and back.
All
again.
right. Well,
Okay,
let's not get
so
all
3 miles. You're worried.
I'm worried. I'm like, I think she's drank all her water at this point.
100%.
I
Water's gone.
don't know that we can make it back 3 miles.
Sure.
Is she complaining audibly, or you just see?
Oh hell yes! All the complaining in the world.
This
like
is
there
what
are
we
these,
want, Dee.
there are these 2 hikers that by this point we've passed them twice already. We passed them again, and Laura's like, "Is there tacos and a margarita at the end of this hike?" And this girl looks at us and she's like, "I think you're looking for something that isn't there." I don't know if you guys need to be out here hiking. Like you remember how judgy she was?
She was such a bitch. I remember being like, well, that was a Debbie Downer. I don't like her. She would not be on our hiking team. Yeah. So we decided that we got to a beach.
Well, at that point, I was like, okay, we're 3 miles in. We can't turn back now. She doesn't have water. We're not doing well. The best outcome here is we get to the other beach and maybe we have cell phone service and I can call for a cab and there should be water there. Okay. Like if I can just get her to the other beach, I won't have to carry her. So I'm like,
It sounds so much worse with her here. Honestly, my version of this story was much better. Go on.
I'm like, there might be tacos and a margarita at the other beach at the other end of the island. Let's just keep going.
So we make it 5 miles. We get
do.
to the beach.
There's this beautiful beach.
Okay, sure. First of all, there were fucking 0 tacos, no margaritas. There's nothing. There is just what seems to be an honest looking couple.
A very intimate, secluded beach. That's what it was.
Yes.
There were
And
3 groups of people.
that's true. And of course, I'm doing nothing but getting in the water and trying not to die. So I'm flailing around. I'm like upset that I'm like, I have no idea. I don't know what's going to happen. We have no self-service. That was the other thing.
no
So
self-service.
no self-service.
And no water.
And
No water.
I'm just thinking in my mind, what the hell am I going to do to get us out of this situation?
And because she's very resourceful and honestly has much better discernment with people than I do, because I would have for sure picked a serial killer. She makes friends.
Yeah, with this cute little old couple that brought their lounge chairs and they're sitting on the beach drinking brewskis. Like they're having a good time.
And
I just started chatting with them and eventually asked them if they would please take us with them. So we hitchhiked.
So how did you have to wait for them to like finish their day at the beach, or were they like, oh yeah, we can just go now?
They were like, we were about to leave anyway. Just let me finish my beer.
So did
and
they
we'll
take
go."
y'all to tacos or did they take you to your
no, we had to
hotel?
eat pizza. We
Oh
devoured.
yeah, oh of course,
Devoured.
had to.
Yeah.
I mean, a full, like I ate at least a half a pizza.
yeah.
It was
This
great.
was not back to where we started, by the way, though. It was like the midway point. It was where they had a resort on the island, but
Yeah.
it wasn't at the place where we had taken the what did we take?
We took a
We
ferry.
took a ferry over
Yeah.
there.
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's
So we had
commitment.
taken a ferry over there, and then we're at this resort that's probably still 2 or 3 miles away from the ferry, but there we could call a cab. So we sat there and ate pizza. And
If you take the details out of the story, you would think like, oh my gosh, they were lost in the Sahara Desert or like into the
Yeah.
wild. Like they
No.
had to live in the school
Survivalist.
bus for a while. Like,
When you say you take the detail, if you were to take, I mean, if you only had Laura in the story.
I'm just saying,
It seemed
if you didn't know, if you didn't hear the part about like, oh, it's only 5 miles or it's
Oh,
this,
okay. Well,
yeah.
5 miles
I mean,
is kind of a lot, so shut the fuck up.
we,
Okay.
if
so,
we'd had to walk back, we probably could have survived.
yes, but
Oh
my
no,
I
you
think you-
100% could have
Yeah,
survived.
I don't think it's a probable.
Here- okay.
situation.
Here's the worst part. Here's the worst. Well, I remember this vividly. We get back to the hotel. We had this cute hotel, and so we get back to the hotel, and like sunset's happening. It's so beautiful, and I'm like out on the balcony, and I can see her out of the corner of my eye, inside,
Planking.
doing squat, like
fucking
jump
knew it.
squats.
No, it was yoga.
Do not play. You were lunging across that place. And I was like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm just going to close my rings. I'm thinking like, bitch, I closed my rings 50 times.
We'd
on that
only
one.
hiked 5 miles very slowly.
Okay, first of all, I feel like that is your perception of this. It was very aggressive for me.
She deserves this, Laura.
Okay, that's true. You are not a princess that needs to be saved.
She saved you. She rallied. She had mental clarity to ask the elderly couple for a ride while you're flailing around.
Do you know I never told Shane that we hitchhiked? Because
Did you not?
No, I mean I did like years later.
Well,
I finally was
told
like,
Don. He was like, I'm glad you're alive.
we made it. We made it, Dawn. We made it, Shane. It's fine.
I just remember that one of the big complaints was that she likes to close her rings.
I do
Yeah.
Which
like
yeah,
to
that's
close
why
my rings.
every day you have to.
I've switched to a Garmin watch now, so I don't have my
Oh.
rings to close.
But the Garmins are very rude.
They are rude.
Like
What does that mean?
they
okay.
don't give you nearly the amount of calories or
You
workout
stand
times.
up twice, and that Apple Watch is like, wow,
Congratulations.
Yeah.
you are killing it. And then after I run 5 miles, it was like medium perceived effort. And I'm like, well, I thought it was pretty good. You know, I got a good time. It's like not recovered, bad sleep. It's just like,
Really?
It'll
They
tell me
are
I'm
tough.
unproductive.
yeah, very tough.
Oh, yeah. I
So-
like the positive reinforcement.
Yeah, me too.
I want to be shamed. I'm like, all right, well, let's wrap this up then.
You know how we have like these speed limit, like digital speed limit signs, and it just says like slow down or whatever. If you, I was on a motorcycle trip. We were in Denver-ish, somewhere in Colorado at this point, and if you were going the correct speed limit, they would say positive things to you. And I was like, look at
What
this.
a treat.
I was like, that's not. That would actually encourage me to go the right speed to see what it's going to say, as opposed to just I don't care. It says slow down. I'm like, no, you slow down.
Yeah.
I
Don't
know-
tell me
I
what
know
to
how-
do.
I know how fast I'm going.
Don't tell me what to
Slow
do.
down.
But if it said something nice to me when I was going the correct speed limit, then I would really want to see that each time.
Well, a Garmin wouldn't be a good fit for you.
I don't think I
very
retired my
precise, though.
Apple Watch actually after that trip. I'm
We're
not
looking at
kidding.
this
I was
again.
like, you know what? This feels shameful, honestly.
But you don't do planks though, right? That was a joke. Do you like to? You don't? Do you?
I
do
plank.
planks.
Oh, I hate plank.
Well,
Yeah.
so good for your
What?
core.
It is
Yeah.
very good for your
Oh,
core.
I thought that was just a common. Oh yeah, no, I'm sure it is. I just hate
The
I hate-
Garmin watch has a 5-minute plank workout that's fabulous, Claire.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll tune
All
into
right.
that.
Well, that's weird. Are y'all gonna run together tomorrow?
Wish.
Are you going with us?
No, I will cheer for y'all from
I
my
think you
bed.
could do it. It's 5 miles. You've got practice from that trip.
I'm more of a 5K girl, and that is also her fault.
All right, Dee, any last thoughts, stories, vindications?
Oh, I'm not a genius.
We
No, wait a second.
feel like you could be.
Wait a second. I heard you and our other guest, Dr. Ostad, from a different episode. I heard you guys talking, and you're a professor at Lee.
She's
Yeah.
a PhD in math.
Right.
Okay.
Math.
So
Mathematics.
Yeah.
I used to when she was in school, like getting her B. I was like, "So, what are you studying?" And
She was always so sweet. She always asked me, what are you doing? What are you writing your dissertation about?
"What are you working on?" And finally, she was like, "Hey, we don't have to do this."
I know you don't understand what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
literally, she would start talking about like. I remember one time topology. I feel like you were telling me she's like, "Well, right now we're working on curing cancer with the study of topology from if you take this distance and a map and you da, da, da." I was like, "Ew, cool." This week I had a lot of meetings.
So many meetings.
So many. You wouldn't believe how much I talked this week.
So why math? Like,
Ah,
because math, even if you're really good at math, it seems like is that an enjoyable thing? I don't know. Tell me.
is that
Like,
an
why-
enjoyable?
Like why you decided
His voice
math.
lifts
Professor
at the
from
end,
Yeah.
very doubtfully. Yeah, it's actually really enjoyable to me.
Like the
but
teaching part, I understand, but
Yeah.
actually, like
no, the math part is
just
actually
study, okay,
really
yeah.
intriguing and fun. Actually, when I was in my undergrad degree, for a whole, so I went to Lee University as a student, which is a Christ-centered institution, and I had been raised as a Christian, and just kind of thought, I don't know if this is quite for me. By the time I got to college, and it was actually math that made me see that some of the doubts that I had about God were less doubts and just things that I probably didn't quite understand. So I when my students ask me why math, I tell them because that's what God used to save me.
Huh.
Why?
Okay.
Wait, why? Why did math? Can you expound just a
that
little?
doesn't math for Laura.
Yeah,
That doesn't math for Laura.
yeah. What does that mean? Like just like in a couple sentences.
Sure. So like take for the Trinity, for instance.
That's pretty hard math equation.
That's-
like 3 people in 1. Got it. Okay.
It's really it doesn't make sense, right? It just doesn't.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't matter how people explain
Firm
it.
no.
It doesn't. There's this book I read called Flatland, which is written by a mathematician, and it talks about a land where all of the creatures in the land are 2-dimensional. So they're like circles and squares and all of that, and they live on like a sheet of paper. And all of a sudden, a sphere visits this 2-dimensional realm. And the way it described the way the sphere appeared to the 2-dimensional creatures was just incredible. Like at one point, it appeared like just a little dot. And then at another point, it appeared like a curve in front of them. And it just clicked in my mind while reading that book that, You know, if God is a higher dimensional being, if I take my hand and I stick my hand on the table, then something in Flatland would see my fingers, and I would appear like I was 5 things when I'm really not. It's just my hand and I have 5 fingers. So I don't know that God's some higher dimensional being. I don't know that that is the way you explain the Trinity, because I think any analogy falls apart at some point. But it made my brain say, well, maybe I just don't understand this as well as I need to. That doesn't mean it isn't plausible.
Yeah, that makes sense.
D, 2 things. First, I do think you're a genius. And 2, we read really different books, you know? And I like that.
Flatland. Everybody put that on your reading list, folks.
It's a good little book.
Oh,
How about that old Gobo hunting, huh? That guy.
that guy's solving math equations.
Yeah, that's not my story. I'm not a genius like that, though. That's what I mean. Like, I'm not Good Will Hunting. I had to work real hard for it. So I have a PhD not because everything just came easily and naturally to me, but because there was a lot of time and effort and discipline put into it.
Well, Dee, you know, that we are saying that because the 3 of us, we don't think like that. And I think it's just jealousy because
it's
none
not
of us are math whizzes on this couch. Or are you, and you didn't fucking tell us that either?
No, I've told you this. Like when I went to Auburn, I was in the engineering school, and you have to take an entry test. And I unfortunately test well, and I was put into like a high level calculus class that I should not have been anywhere near, and the teacher did not speak English. So there were the 2 things. The English was like maybe his 5th language, and it was like so I was out like within 2 or 3 weeks.
Remedial. We were joking about both being in remedial algebra in college. And be like, well, and I never made it out. I was just like, yeah.
I failed over and over again. I'm sure they were finally like, just get her out of here.
Just
I
give
threw
her
my hands up
whatever
and
she
said,
needs.
No, I'm in the wrong class.
But you
This
guys
is
are
all right.
incredible storytellers.
Oh, we are thrilled with that part of us. I'm just letting you know why we are like, wow, she's a mathematician. We just can't wrap our heads around it.
It's kind of like yeah, that's what I mean. When I'm talking about you, I talk about you from this, like, I admire you so much because we are so different, and I have found so much peace. And when I go to you and I'm seeking advice, it's really easy because I love the way you live. And so if I'm talking shit on here, also know it's because I love her.
Also, you haven't talked any shit. It's
Yeah,
all
but-
just good. You just say it, and you're mad about it way.
Yeah, that's true. And I am a little mad, you know, because some of it I am like, what the are you serious, God? Why not me, bro?
Well, I complained to Dee off the air about how I'm upset with my brother's athletic ability.
Oh,
Yeah,
but
his
you're
math-
but you're good at
I
stuff.
have to, like, Dee with her math, I have to work at it really hard. I mean, we both have, like, athletic stuff, but it's very natural. He doesn't have to, like, I took him to the gym once, and he couldn't move for, like, a week. He was, like, always tells a story, like, yeah, he was afraid driving home because he couldn't, like, grab the steering wheel, and, like, showering. He had trouble showering for days because he doesn't have to work out. He's just naturally,
One of those.
yeah, just like
That's
the most
so
athletic person I
frustrating.
know. And
Like
it's
when
really
you see somebody with like a 6-pack and they're like, oh yeah, I don't really do anything. I just like wake up and eat cupcakes.
I had a coach one time say like, hey, you know your brother could have been like a starting quarterback in college. I was like, oh, I had a feeling that may be the case. He's like, yeah, he just wanted to play guitar more. But like he just quit the football
Adorable.
team just because he wanted to grow his hair out and play guitar.
What an asshole.
Yeah, total jerk.
That's okay, Will. We can do hard things.
There you go. So, yeah, we try really hard.
We just wing it over here. Dee, thanks for driving here.
Yeah, we love
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thanks.
let's go whitewater rafting.
Up at the Ocoee.
Yeah, at the Ocoee.
Yeah, right past my house.
Oh, we'll take the
Love that.
photos as you guys.
You would love it.
Oh, y'all do this part and I'll be like, oh my God, I'll take the pictures.
You've never been. This shows me. That's
Yes.
not a
You've
thing.
never been whitewater rafting?
Why would I do that? That sounds like a risky situation. I'm just like, I'm the girl who falls out of the
You
raft.
wouldn't. On the Ocoee.
I mean, everybody kind of does at some point.
It's safe.
No,
It's fun.
I just did it with Birdie
Field
last
trip.
year.
Oh, y'all look so cute. I remember.
Okay, well,
All
first,
right.
before you cut bangs, staff retreat with Dee.